Hello and welcome to My Heart on Pages. I'm your host, Dr. LaQuita Parks, author, publisher, and founder of Pay Pro V Publishing, where we take stories from a thought to realization. This podcast is a sacred space for storytellers, overcomers, and visionaries who have chosen to turn pain into purpose and purpose into legacy. Here, we have real conversations about faith, resilience, healing, and the power of putting your heart on paper. Because your story is not random, it is intentional, and it deserves to be told. Welcome to My Heart on Pages.
My hand beneath the sky, made a promise I could not deny. Through the fire, through the rain, through the sacrifice and pain, far from home yet standing strong, holding hope when nights were long. Every step, every scar made me who I am today. And though the battles changed my life, they never stole my soul. The courage of a warrior inside my bones. We are the legacy, the voices of the brave, standing on the promises of every life we gave. Through duty, honor, sacrifice, our story still remains. We are the legacy, and our light will never fade. Some carry memories no one sees, silent battles on their knees, but every tear and every fight helped another find the light. Now we gather hand in hand, sharing stories across this land, passing hope from heart to heart, a legacy that won't depart. The uniform may be laid aside, but the mission still goes on. Through every story that we tell, a new generation grows strong. We are the legacy, the voices of the brave, standing on the promises of every life we gave. Through duty, honor, sacrifice, our story still remains. We are the legacy, and our light will never fade. From the battlefield to the written page, our stories echo through the age. For every veteran, every name, the world will know why we came. And when the final roll is called, we'll stand united, proud and tall. Because our service never ends, it lives through every life we made. We are the legacy, the guardians of the flame, bound together by our service, forever honored in his name. Through duty, honor, sacrifice, our stories lead the way. We are the legacy, and our light will never fade. Sworn to duty, called to serve, bound by honor, remembered forever.
Yes, we are the legacy. Welcome to another episode, a special episode of My Heart on Pages. I am your host, Dr. LaQuita Parks, and I am so excited to have my special guest here today, Brenda Sharpe. Man, we have history. Welcome to My Heart on Pages. Tell the people who you are, love.
I'm Brenda Sharpe. That's who I am. I am this one person that I'm pretty sure you talked a lot of people into doing this, but it took you about 4 years to get me to write a small story, a very small blurb of my life in this book. in this anthology. So here I am. I'm a native of Atlanta, and I've known you, like you said, history when we go back to high school. So yes,
we're getting ready to celebrate 40 years.
40 years of
40 years.
Woo, yes. Okay.
So we are here today to talk about this project. Everybody has a story, and everybody has a story. And I am so very proud of you.
Thank
so
you.
Brenda, tell us the name of your chapter. Bestselling author.
Just bestselling author. Who would have thunk it? I am overwhelmed and amazed that this is something that a title that can be put to my name. Not just another statistic. That is the chapter. That's my chapter. I've always said that I would never be a statistic after I found out I was pregnant at 14.
Wow.
So I've just worked, done what I could to do to make it. Is that the best way to put it? To make it, to raise my kid the best way I could, going to school, finishing high school, and working and going back to school at night to give her the life that she deserved because she didn't ask to be here.
You know what? When I read your story, I was like, wow. Because I didn't know that. And so guys, before we get started, I don't even know if I said that, I am Dr. LaQuita Parks, the CEO and founder of Pay Pro V Publishing. And Pay Pro V is pain, progress, victory, because I believe without pain, there is no progress. And without progress, there can be no victory. So my Heart on Pages simply meets and talks to authors about the why behind their heart on pages. So they've been vulnerable, they've been transparent, and they have put their heart on pages. So over the next couple of days, we're doing a series of interviews for the authors, the contributing authors of the best-selling anthology, Everybody Has a Story, Everybody Has a Story. And Brenda and I went to high school together. Not just that, Brenda's mother was my children's babysitter when they were babies. And my children are 36, yep, 34, and 32. And so when they were babies, yeah. Alexis, I don't even know if she kept Alexis. I think Alexis.
Yeah, she did. She had Alexis for a very small amount of time because that's right. Who Michelle remembers Alexis.
Yes, and that was 30 over 30 years ago. Wow.
Oh my goodness, girl. Wow. Yes.
And when I was reading your story, first of all, thank you for saying yes. Thank you so much for saying yes to this project. I remember we talked a long time ago. And then, you said yes. And I was like, so this was for the visionary Inez. Miss Inez was the visionary on this project. Okay. And she and I worked on, she's been in multiple publications that I've done. And she would always say, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And I would say, okay, girl, you got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. And I could not have asked for it to turn out any better than it did. So it was a blessing. But when I read your story, and I remember Colleen was like, wow, I didn't know. I didn't know that you went through all that. Now we're not gonna actually read or talk about the book. It's the story itself, because you got to buy the book.
Yeah, okay? We need them to buy the book. Yes,
we do. But I want to share this first little part that you said. Even in my darkest moments, something inside me whispered, "You're not done yet." Mm-hmm. That whisper saved me more times than I can count. And so I want to talk about how many times do we hear that still small voice telling us something and whispering, and we don't listen to it.
Oh, girl. You know what? That voice has said, you need to tell your story. You need to just tell people. I would talk to other people and just in general, my daughter's friends, they would be going through something, and I could just give them a example from my life and what I've been through and things of that nature. And they would be like, whoa. And Michelle would sit there. And of course, for people that hear Colleen, her name is Colleen Michelle. I think I'm the only one on the planet that calls her Michelle. Yeah. I am. I think I'm the only one on the planet that calls her Michelle. I don't remember Michelle. I said you always call her Colleen. Everybody calls her Colleen. I'm the only one that really calls her Michelle. And it's kind of funny because she says my mom's the only one that calls me Michelle. That's it. And I think she keeps it at that. But she would say, Mom, I didn't know. I was like, babe, you weren't supposed to know. I was supposed to make this as seamless as possible. My job was not to make you suffer. It was to let you keep going. In some ways you suffer. We're not going to deny that because I'm a single parent and my parents did a tremendous job. I would never, ever take anything away from my parents by just doing what they did to help me get to that next step. But working to take care of her, I would do without because that's my job. I'm your mom. If anybody's going to do without, it's going to be with me. If I look shabby, it's okay. As long as you were clean, you were fine, you went out there and gave your best of me, I was happy. That's what it was supposed to be at all times. That whispered word that you mentioned, that phrase, when I had meningitis and I was in that coma, like that. The person that I had never met in my life, didn't know this person from Adam, was a man. It was my mother's father. He said, when I was giving up, I was done because I didn't think I could do any more for her than I already had. And I was really feeling that disappointment and depression that I went through. In the self-deprecation that I was doing, everything. And in that subconsciousness that I was in that coma-like state, he said, you're not done yet. You've got more to do. He said, go ahead, get up. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Because I'm stubborn. I'll be the first one to say it. He said, yeah. He said, you got more to do. I need you to wake up, go, because they need you. And I woke up.
Wow.
That voice is the only thing that still keeps me going when I am struggling every day. That voice says, hey, you got to keep moving.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
So why that title? Why that title?
Because I had someone in my family that told me that I was a statistic. That's all that I was, a statistic. When you are 14, 15 years old and you're already feeling like crap because you are a parent, you're a teenage mother, you've got an infant sitting here in your lap that you're feeding this, that, and the other, and you've got someone that should have words of encouragement tell you that you're just a statistic. That's all you'll ever be.
Wow. And that's hard. That's hard. As somebody say, be your own people.
Girl, that's that statement.
It be your own people.
It be your own people.
It be your own people.
It be your own people. Look, let me tell you something. The one thing that I've learned over in my life is that family will do you wrong before friends will. And friends can be family and not be blood. Sometimes that's the best family that you ever have.
Hey, you don't choose them. Because I ain't gonna lie. I love my family. I do too. But I don't know if I would have chosen them as my friends.
There you go. Now that's it. I love my family. I love the family that my mama and daddy brought me into. I love them dearly. But would I have chosen them for friends?
Right. I don't know.
Heck to the no.
No.
Nope. Because it's just no.
No.
I'm big on loyalty and honesty. No, thank you. No, thank you.
So, and I know you just touched on it, but what was the true inspiration behind you writing your story?
Therapy.
Listen, I am a proponent of therapy. Everybody that knows me knows that I am a proponent of therapy. There is nothing wrong with it. It used to be seen as taboo. Even me, when it was suggested that, maybe I'm dealing with some anxiety and some depression, maybe you need to talk to somebody. I'm not crazy. Right. But when I finally bought into it, man, when I can't see my therapist, I'm like, wait, what you mean you don't have an appointment this week?
Now look, and it's kind of funny because I was in therapy while Michelle was in school and in high school and things of that nature. It took about 7 years of therapy for me to get to this point that I stopped worrying about what people would think about me and start worrying about how they would accept me and how I could be acceptable to anybody and everybody. And I started being acceptable to Brenda.
Oh,
I started being acceptable
to
me. I started being acceptable to me. I started doing things of what I needed and what I wanted and how I wanted to live my life. And if I had to look at myself in the mirror, am I going to be happy with what I saw? So, hey.
I love that. I love that because it's like loving yourself from the inside out. You know, loving the you, and in some ways I'm still learning that.
Me too.
Sometimes you know, sometimes people will take you there, and sometimes you know you have the vicissitudes of life that will pull you like a rubber band sometimes.
Girl.
And you're like, okay, what's going on here? And sometimes you have to love yourself enough through it, and you're good enough.
And I had to learn how to tell myself that I was good enough. Not only was I good enough for me, but I was good enough for anyone that wanted to step to me. You know, it wasn't about what I was bringing to the table. It was how we could build the table.
I
don't need you to bring me a table. I don't need me to bring you a table. I need us to build a table.
That's right. Because we building it, we both holding up our end of
That's right. We're holding up our end. And I know what I'm worth. And it took me a long time to realize my worth.
Hey, I love it. I'm getting that warm vibe. I love that
pleasant feeling. Yes.
I love it. And you know what? And this is what everybody has a story means. It's not just every physical body has a story, but it's everybody, and the community is the body. What's going on? And you know, a lot of times we think community, we think, you know, what's going on outside in the neighborhood that we live in, but community is what's going on inside of our home.
Right.
That's what's going on in our family. That's the community, because I can't do anything about what's going on across town. I can't do anything what's going on, you know, sometimes next door, but in my house is where I can make a difference. So let me ask you, what was the hardest part about writing your chapter? Which was the hardest part in that?
Everything.
Whoa. Tell me what you mean.
From coming to that point of just being able to relay the abuse, because the abuse was just a very small, and I do mean small, portion that I gave you. But we were talking about 3 years of abuse. So it was hard because I had to go back, and it wasn't I had to, but my mind went back to that part of my life. And, you know, sometimes you put a block up in your head when you've gone through something because you don't want to think about it anymore.
Right.
I've crossed that bridge. I want to burn the bridge. I just want it in ashes. I don't even want to be able to look at it. But doing that didn't make it easy. This book made it easy. Me writing this made it a lot easier because I was able to face it and realize, and I had to forgive myself because I realized I hadn't forgiven myself for what I've been through. And that person that I allowed into my life to put me in those positions, and even to help that person help my self-deprecation. He helped me lower my standards of self-worth and not believing or loving me. So that right there, I had to go through it and forgive myself. Wow. Forgive that young person that I was from 20 to 24 with the things that I had done. And then even from 25 to 30, I had to forgive myself.
In all of those different sections of life.
In that book and those sections of the story of my life, I went through it and I had to forgive myself. And I went away, thank you. I'm going to say thank you, because in a way you allowed me to put that mirror up, look at myself and say, I forgive you. And to keep it moving.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that because sometimes we have to have permission. Somebody has to give us permission to say it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. You can do it. I truly, truly believe that telling your story is there's healing in it. It's therapeutic. It is for me. And
Yes.
I say that and I wrote my own story in the book. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm a part of it. You know, I'm not just a publisher on the project, but I'm also a contributing author. So I shared some pieces of my story. And sometimes we have to have somebody in our corner to say it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can do that. You know, sometimes, you know, and so I appreciate you for telling me thank you. I simply appreciate you for saying yes, because sometimes we carry stories within us and we don't get, you know, we don't pull it out. There are what I call communication noises where there's somebody saying, oh, if I was you, I wouldn't tell people that. Or if I was you. And so it's
Yes.
the trick is keep it inside, keep it bottled inside. And when you keep it inside, it manifests itself. And then there are those who say, oh, you know, they don't want you to share what's going on. They don't want to hear it.
No.
Well, find somebody who want to hear it. Tell it to the, hey, tell it to the trees, tell it to the rocks.
Right. Correct.
Talk to
You can
God.
tell it to anybody but me. Yeah. You can
Anybody
tell
but me.
anybody but me.
Tell it. And then it's, you know, it becomes a problem. And those are the things that make people, they run into the wrong person. Those are the things that make people, you know, hold back on what they should and should not be saying to somebody. So
Right.
thank you for saying yes. And I know, you know, time goes by so fast, but I wanna ask you a question as we wrap up. If you could have a conversation with that 20-year-old self, that 25-year-old self, even that 14-year-old self, if you can have a conversation with her, knowing what you know now and what you've been through, what would you tell her? What word of advice would you give her?
Listen to yourself, because that inner voice that was telling you those things, that was that word of those angels that sit there that we have. Everybody has a guardian angel. And that guardian angel was telling you what not to do. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself and believe in yourself. I mean, my biggest cheerleader was my mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you knew Big Mama. Big Mama was
Yes, I
the
did.
biggest cheerleader for anyone. And that woman was
Miss
my
Florine.
Miss Florine. Yes, she was my biggest cheerleader. And I know that just writing this, she's, you know, the joke is for our family, if you know my mama, you knew that she's not in heaven. She's on the outskirts. She out there on the gates, right there outside the pearly gates, talking to everybody and having a good time and telling everybody. That's where she is right there. And she is just as happy as she can be because I've told my story. I've told a portion of my story, and that freed me.
And you know what? And I have to say, I enjoyed many conversations with Florine as I picked those kids up, because I was going through some things at that time, and she was able to be a listening ear and provide wisdom for me.
Yep.
And so I really appreciate that. So Brenda, tell people how they can get in touch with you and purchase an autographed copy of Everybody Has a Story and Everybody Has a Story. How can they reach you?
Okay, my email address is Brenda A. Sharpe at yahoo.com. I am always on my email, so that is not something that you'll say, she's not gonna respond. Yes, I will respond to the email. We have a launch and signing this Saturday.
Yes.
And I will be there. So please purchase your book. Come on out. I am right there to sign and to speak, answer questions if that is, and just to shake your hand and honestly probably give you a hug for buying the book and making all of us happy. Mm-hmm. And just being allowed to give the story. So come on. But I will definitely respond to every email that I get. I will respond to each and every one of them. And the book is on Amazon. I'm sorry, people. The book is on Amazon, so you can find it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brenda. We want people to reach out to Brenda A. Sharpe at yahoo.com. Connect with Brenda. and purchase a book, get an autographed copy, and then give her some feedback. Talk to her, share with her your thoughts about her story. So, Brenda, thank you so much for taking the time. This is, short interview. I'm looking forward to seeing you and your family on Saturday at the book signing. And listen, if you are in the Atlanta area, reach out to us. I'll give you the address. Reservations are required. I'll give you the address, and come out and meet the authors. Networking opportunities. The authors will be sharing their stories, and hey, meet the publisher and the visionary too. All right. So thank you so much, Brenda. It has been.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it more than you know.
Oh, you're welcome. It has been a plump, pleasing pleasure. Better than a triple decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's my
I love it.
That's my story, and I am sticking to it. All right.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Oh, wait, we have a comment. Who is the comment?
Oh,
wait. We have to acknowledge this person before we go. Miss Colleen Sharpe is in the house.
Hey, darling.
That was an awesome interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colleen, I don't know you by Michelle. I know you by Colleen. So I look forward. I cannot wait to see you. The last time I saw you, you was a little bitty thing, honey. She was in elementary school the last time I saw you, girl. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. So thank you so much, Brenda. We will talk soon. It has been a pleasure indeed. And one other thing, guys, the video that you saw, We Are the Legacy, we are doing a call for veterans. So veterans, you want to participate in our Veterans Legacy. It is the Veterans Legacy. We are taking author stories. So if you're interested in that, you can reach us. You can send me a message. You can reach us at payprovpublishing.com, and we'll give you all the details that you need on all things social media. Okay. All right. Well, until next time, Brenda, have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to My Heart on Pages. I'm your host, Dr. LaQuita Parks, author, publisher, and founder of PayProV Publishing, where we take stories from a thought to realization. This podcast is a sacred space for storytellers, overcomers, and visionaries who have chosen to turn pain into purpose and purpose into legacy. Here, we have real conversations about faith, resilience, healing, and the power of putting your heart on paper. Because your story is not random, it is intentional, and it deserves to be told. Welcome to My Heart on Pages.